I'm Harrison Graham. Coming up, we're going to take your mailbag questions. So use hashtag Bears or the super chat function, and we will answer as many of your questions as we possibly can. Do want to start with this. There's a Bears-Raiders trade idea out there from Bill Barnwell, ESPN.com. He cooked up about a dozen trade ideas, and he proposed a player-for-player swap between the Bears and the Raiders. And it's Tyree Wilson, who you guys may remember that year when he was coming out. I was a big fan of his coming out of Texas Tech. He was a player I would not have mind the Bears drafting. That was the year they ended up with Darnell Wright. I think he actually went the pick before Jalen Carter and Darnell Wright, if I remember correctly. And then Braxton Jones would go back to the Raiders in this trade. The idea is, Colton Miller's hurt. The Raiders' offensive line's struggling, so you can get an experienced left tackle. And then the Bears' pass rush has obviously not been great this year. Tyree Wilson, kind of a tweener, can play some edge, can play some defensive tackle. He could come over to the Bears. And you look at Tyree Wilson's career, I was actually pleasantly surprised. He's actually been a little more productive than I thought. He's got 10 sacks in less than 2.5 seasons, so not great, not top 10 pick worthy or even close, but 37 pressures last year I thought was pretty decent. This year his pressure rate is okay. I think it's a little better than 10%, which is kind of average. I think I would do this trade in a heartbeat. The only drawback I would have is, do you trust Ozzie Trapillo to play left tackle in a pinch? And if the answer is no, do you have a plan B if Theo Benedet gets hurt? Because that's the only drawback, right? Because the main priority this year is still having the best offensive line in front of Caleb possible and making sure his development's good and all that stuff. But if you're telling me Braxton Jones, who's already been benched, you're clearly not re-signing him for Tyree Wilson, a former top 10 pick who has not lived up to that, but you still have him under contract through next season and is a versatile defensive lineman who's at least shown some production, that's kind of like a no-brainer to me. I think I would do that trade in a heartbeat. And if you're the Raiders, Braxton Jones can help you. He could play, and if he plays well, maybe they keep him long-term. Who knows? So I think I would do this swap. What say you? Would you do Tyree Wilson to the Bears for Braxton Jones to the Raiders? Type Y for yes. Type in for no. I'm doing this move if it's actually available. I'm not sure it is, but if it is, I'd pull the trigger. All right, super chat from Justin Collins as we shift into mailbag mode. He says, FGB, get the FGBs in the chat. Do you think Poles is going to make a splash trade? Well, that last one wouldn't be a splash, but it would be one that's kind of a low-risk move. I'd be open to that. I don't know. I don't get the sense that a major move is coming. Brad Biggs, who's kind of been peppered with these questions, he does not sense that right now, and he typically has a pretty good kind of feel with his sources on this type of stuff. Now, that could change. What if you rip three more in a row, and you've won 6 in a row before the trade deadline? Like, would you take a swing? Even if we win 2 out of 3, get to 5-3, would you make a move? If an injury pops up and you need a big replacement, could that happen? So there's a long way to go here. We still have over 2 weeks until the trade deadline, but right now my gut tells me splash trade, no. Small move feels more likely. Okay, Jeremy Keller, hashtag Bears. Do you think Kmet will be back next year? If you're asking me today, I will say yes. I think that could change, but I just don't – we haven't seen Loveland just, have those pop-off games yet. And that's not necessarily his fault, and it's not like Kmet's having huge production either, but my gut right now would tell me that he – would be back as of right now. And even if Loveland does take off, I'd still be fine with Kmet being back. He makes $11 million. It's not like he makes $20 million and is a crush against your salary cap. So I'll lean yes for now, but that could certainly change this offseason. All right, folks, get going with Mando. High-performance whole-body deodorant at shopmando.com. Use our code CHAT to get 20% off at checkout. Fall is here. Football's in full swing, and in other words, it's the best time of the year for the fellas. Great to be out and about, and if you're like me, that includes being outside a lot with my son, out playing golf, other things where sometimes it leads to some sweat. Don't let body odor sideline you this fall. Mando deodorant plus sweat controls for real working guys. Mando is formulated to stop odor before it starts and doesn't mask odor with overwhelming fragrance. You never want that. Mando has several awesome products, from the spray deodorant, stick deodorant, deodorant wipes, and much more. The best part is that Mando's products are safe from head to toe. Check this out. With one swipe, you're good to go. This isn't your typical deodorant. It's clinical strength, 2 times better at controlling sweat than the standard brands out there. It controls both sweat and odor for 72 hours. And after just 12 hours, underarm sweat was reduced by 92%. This stuff works, folks. Mando Starter Pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, plus free shipping. Special offer for our listeners. New customers get 20% off site-wide with our exclusive code. That is code CHAT, C-H-A-T, at shopmando.com. 20% off plus free shipping. That's shopmando.com. Please support our show. Tell them we sent you. Mando's got you covered. Protect your pits. Smell great doing it. Link and promo code in the description and comments of this video. All right, we got Chris. I think Grady Jarrett signing is a bust. Let's see. I mean, it's probably an overpay, regardless of how this plays out. I don't think Grady is going to get back to his elite Atlanta days, but I still think there's value in the veteran leadership. Ben has spoken on that. Dennis has spoken on that. Even if he doesn't play up to his contract, I think there's things that you can't measure that he brings to the table. It's not a killer of a contract. You can get out of it after next year. Is it the most ideal if he ends up just being kind of in and out of the lineup and an average player when he plays? No, it's an overpay for that, but I'll tell you this. If you ask me today, would I rather have Grady Jarrett on his contract or Dio Adengbo on his contract? I still think I'd take Grady Jarrett. Now, Dio I thought played a lot better against Washington, but let's give this more time, Chris. Let's give it more time. Jose Gonzalez, more snaps for Luther Burden or keep trusting OZ? I think both. I don't think the trust in Olamide Zaccheaus is just going to be gone now because he dropped the critical ball. But I still think you need to ramp up Burden's workload. And honestly, that dropped play is a big reason why. Not because he dropped the ball. I want to make that clear. Zaccheaus, by all accounts, has good hands, just had a bad rep there, dropped the football. It happens. But Luther Burden, if he catches that ball and turns the corner, I think he scores. Zaccheaus might too. He's good in space, good after the catch. But Burden is electric. I mean, his ability to accelerate, decelerate, put the brakes on, change direction. Zaccheaus can do some of those things, but it is night and day. I mean, Luther Burden is a special player with the ball in his hands. That ball he caught on Caleb downfield on the deep over route, I mean, there's 2 defenders like within a couple yards of him when he catches it. He catches it, turns the corner, stops, juke left, back right, gets like 14 yards after the catch. An average player gets like 3 yards after the catch on that play. I mean, it was pretty awesome. That gets me excited. I want to get that guy the ball in space and let him go to work. Subscribe to the channel. You want Bears content all year long, in season, out of season, busy times of the year, dead times of the year. Doesn't matter. We're bringing you guys content here on this channel every single day. I don't even know the last day we didn't have at least one video on the channel, and 99 times out of 100, we're going to have at least 2 videos on the channel. So subscribe today. We got you covered. Christian, thoughts on a potential Chase Brown trade? Well, if you joined us for our Packers-Bengals hate watch party, Chase Brown did show some life in that game after he had been, he had his longest run of the year of 13 yards. Now, the Bengals O-line is terrible. I get all that, but he's clearly having a down year. But he played a little better in that game. We'll see how he plays the rest of the season. I mean, if you want to buy low, like, could you get him for a pick swap or a 6th-round pick? Okay, we can have a conversation. But if you ask me right now, do I think he's better than DeAndre Swift this second? Probably not. So I wouldn't close the door on that. But are the Bengals going to trade him when his value is the lowest? Probably not either. All right, Dylan, the way Tremaine is playing, I don't think we let him walk this offseason unless he's asking for a crazy offer. Middle linebacker looks good for him. I think you mean will linebacker. That's been the change. When Noah Sewell stepped in, he's more comfortable at middle. So they moved Tremaine to will because during training camp, Dennis Allen did something smart. He had all the linebackers work at the different positions, and Tremaine and TJ were pretty interchangeable at middle, at Mike and Will. In the last game, Tremaine played middle, and it was with very mixed results. You know, based on the contract, he was not living up to it. He played Will with Noah Sewell, was playing well. TJ comes back. Instead of moving Tremaine back to middle and TJ back to Will, they put TJ at Mike. And not only did he play great there, Tremaine continued to play really good on the weak side. So I think you keep that going forward. If he keeps playing like this, you probably keep him on the team next year, despite his contract. Would I extend him? I'd probably let next year play out. But, I like how he's playing. I like how TJ looked. That hamstring held up, so hopefully that continues. Predict the score, Bears, Saints, who wins, and what is the final score going to be on Sunday? Important game. Got to keep the foot on the gas here. Don't want to overlook the Saints, because if you do, they're scrappy enough where they could beat you. Where's Nestle? Is there any chance we trade away someone? If we do, who's getting traded? Feels like Braxton Jones is the most likely guy the Bears would trade away at this point in time. Again, they would only do that if they felt comfortable with the return and about a contingency play for Theo Benedet, because Braxton still has value. If Theo Benedet were to go down, that's a guy who started over 40 games in this league at left tackle. He's not playing like he was before, but in a pinch, Braxton Jones is your backup left tackle. You can do a lot worse. So, I think there's a world where they trade him, but I also don't think that's a guarantee. Sean the Savage, do you think Dennis might want a reunion with either Chase Young or Carl Granderson for edge? It's a good point. Bears Saints this weekend. Chase Young just got back, playing pretty well, played well last year. I'm not sure the Saints would look to move him. I don't even know what he would cost. I think he signed a 2-year deal. I'd have to double check. Could you get him for like a fourth? I don't think I'm trading a day 2 pick for Chase Young, given his injury history. Carl Granderson, third, fourth. I'm not doing a 2. He's like 28, 29. I'd do a day 3 pick for either of those guys. I'm not going day 2, I don't think. But certainly the Saints have some veteran defensive players that they could be willing to trade, and maybe the Bears would pounce given the opportunity. All right, if you have more questions, you know where to find me, at HGramNFL, Twitter and Instagram. I still have a lot of DMs to answer after Monday Night Football, so if you've reached out, I will catch up on those this weekend, do my best there, but they're always open. We always down to chop it up, at HGramNFL.